cat came running in, I took away. She didn't even say she was leaving. Her kisses I miss so. She missing mine, I know. Gee, if she could see me, her lonesome pie, she come running right back to me, girl. Somebody stole my little pie. All right, let's get into the chord structure here and see how it can back up the voice in the right way. I generally start typically in an A in this shape when I'm singing. So I'll go, somebody stole my gal, and go to a 5 chord. So that 5 chord is just the E and the C7 shape here. And then we'll go right back into the A bar chord, the A and the E bar chord here. I use my thumb. Then I go down to the 6th. So I stay in the same shape. Some cat came running in, and then here we go to a B7. Away. And hold it. She didn't even say she was leaving. So in terms of the right hand, I'm using kind of an alternate bass picking pattern. Just basic picking pattern so that the voice can really dominate. And sometimes those descents, just kind of really plucking it back into the alternate bass. She didn't even say she was leaving. You can break there, break on that E chord. Say she was leaving now. Sometimes I'll slide with the thumb like this, right back into that bar chord, and we start over. Except here, mine I know. And here we're going to a C sharp 7, 3rd. So it's the same chord as this E7, just down here. All in that alternate bass. And then back to the A. If she could see, a little maybe A7 here. Darling me, 4 chord. So that's a D in the A bar chord shape. Do a little 6 here, and then I'll add a little minor chord, the D minor. Sometimes throw that in there, and then add these tiny little passing chords. So what is that? So it's sort of 3rd fret of the 5th string, 4th fret of the 4th string, 3rd fret of the 3rd string, 4th fret of the 2nd string. And then you slide that down. And then you go into the A. So we're back there. So same thing. And then you resolve it there. Sometimes I'll go up here, so I'll go or like this. Do do the same. You can do it here in a sort of a C sharp, a C7 shape. So that this is the A down to the F sharp. And then you can go to play your B here, B7 if you want, and E7, A. Alright, let's do all that very slowly on the split screen. Somebody stole my gal. Somebody stole my little pal. Some cat came running in, took her away. She didn't even say she was leaving. Her kisses I miss so. She misses mine, I know. Gee, if she could see, darling me, a lonesome pal. She come running right back to me, girl. Somebody stole my little gal. Okay, so now the hard part. We're going to work on this sort of counterpoint bass line that happens. It's kind of a walking up while you're walking down with the melody. So this the very first part of the tune is probably the hardest to grasp, and then once you're in that, then it ends up working out. I start off just doing a little walk up to the A, starting on that 6th string on the E, 2, 4, there. And once you're here, we're doing this, the bass line goes, so you're going to do that, and the challenge is to do that while doing the melody. So that means I would divide it into a couple steps, so into each bass note could be a step, so that you could go 1, so 1, and this is an A bar chord, kind of a type of A, you know, here's the A, I'm grabbing that high A with my pinky, so I start, and that's sort of it makes you think you're in this alternate bass picking mode, and then all of a sudden you're walking up, so, and then you go 2nd step here, so that's 2nd fret here, and 4th fret of the 1st string here. And so the 3rd step would be playing this 3rd fret of the 5th string, 2nd fret of the 1st string. And then it's 4th fret of the 5th string, and open string on the 1st string. So that is the first part. Sometimes I'll syncopate that, sometimes it'll be, so that means, so sometimes it's not always unison. On the tab it won't be in unison, you'll see how it is. It'll be, so that little note comes in right before the C and the bass. So it goes, that really kind of hammers the melody that way. Somebody stole. So the next step after you've gotten that is to start the chordal stuff, which happens up the neck. I start with the passing chord. I start with this C diminished chord. These are going to be all over the place. so there's two diminished right here, the C diminished and this diminished 7. So you go to feed into the, to transition into the to the E7. And I don't stop there, I keep going. So what is all that? Those are all E chords with a little passing chord. So once I'm on that E7, chuck a little D sharp diminished 7 just to pass right into. So that is E7 diminished and then back E7 here in this shape, in this sort of, in that bar chord shape. And then I do this inversion of an E7 with the third in the bass here. And then I walk back down with that, all those shapes. So it goes, and let's do that again. And then, so these are all the way back down, I'm going pretty much all E, but it's just different permutations of the E. So let's do that again. Let me do it in the So there are two diminished here. And then I kind of slide. When you hear that, the emphasis on this E to go back down into the A chord. So I'm using all these different E shapes. So here's an E here, and then an E9 here, and then here's an E7 with the B in the bass, and then back down to here with an E7 with a G sharp in the bass. I'm gonna do it all again, just so you. E9, E7 with a B in the bass, E7 with a G sharp in the bass, slide into the A. So that's all. The kind of the exercise in this piece is to always keep moving, keep that bass moving. So that's an A, walk up to the C sharp with this and the 7 up top. So that's A. So I do this high A, and then kind of a B and F sharp, and here. So I'm saying B is in the bass, and then F sharp up top. And then you have this A7 with the third C sharp in the bass. And then we're going to go down to the 6. So we kind of start up, back up here in this A shape here. The trick is we're sliding. So it goes. Yeah, so we're sliding in these 7th kind of triad. So essentially, you need to anticipate once you're on this chord to slot to get right into this little triad, this A7 triad, and then to end on this F sharp 7. And what I frequently do is since I'm in this picking pattern in the right hand, I'll chuck a little like open string thing once in a while just to fill up space. It'll be barely audible, but it allows you to kind of transition and kind of sew the different parts together. So I'll do that again. So again, so you can hear a little open string thing happening, but then I'm landing on this F sharp kind of this tense chord, but since it's happening relatively quickly, that tension isn't brought out too much. So you're in this F sharp bar chord, and the right hand is doing alternate picking, but going. So you allude to this F augmented chord. And then I play a diminished chord here. B flat diminished chord. To seg into to transition into the B. And then here we sit on the B, but we don't actually sit on it, we keep it moving. So let me do that. So we sit on it for a second for the bar, and then, so that is the same you'll see everywhere. It's these two diminished to transition back up to the same chord in a different shape. So it's the same as what we did with the E, but it's just down here, so it's a slightly different position because there you grab it with your index, but here it's an open string. So B7, diminished, B7. And then we're doing another B7. So here the trick is we're walking down with the bass while we're doing bum, 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 bum. So we're walking down all the way to the F sharp. So we start with this high B in this B7, which is in a sort of A7 shape. So we go, you grab, this is the third here, back to the B, full B with a sort of B6 shape. Now the trick is you have to kind of lift your ring finger off the fretboard a tiny bit, just to grab that note. And then, so let me do that one more time. Then we're doing this little run. So I'm using with my right hand, I'm just using a thumb index picking technique. And here I'm starting off precise, and then I kind of just let the index just kind of go up the strings. Especially when you're taking a little speed with it, it's not going to be, you don't have to necessarily hit every single note. But the idea is to go on the 5th fret of the 2nd string. You start. It's a chromatic run. So I'll do it again. And when I do it fast, see, you can kind of hear it gets a little jumbled. The idea is to kind of keep it as precise as possible, obviously. But anyway, the point, you can start off just by practicing it slowly. And even slower than that. And then we're back in to the song with all that same shape. All the same as the first part. Except this time, when you land on that E7, we're gonna go E7, and we're gonna hang on those diminished chords a little bit. And that's all just alternate picking with the index and the middle finger. And then I'm going to jump up to this chord, the E, it's an E here, E kind of in that A shape. And I'll bounce back and forth between this shape and this shape. These are both E chords. And then I'll chuck this little E9 shape in, at the very end. I'm going to go. It gives it that interesting little jazzy pep. So I'll go. I'm walking down to the C, it's the same, to that C sharp 7. And in this case, it's really just bouncing from chord to chord. I think you can do it in any way that you see fit. I kind of like to anticipate so ahead of the beat, but you can easily just go just kind of right on the beat too as well. Let me do the shapes here. So then I'm going from the E9 down to the C9, C sharp 9, sorry. And then I stay in that chord, that C sharp chord. And that's an inversion of that same chord. Here's that same chord in the bar chord, in the A bar chord. Same chord in a E7 shape. So the trick is just, I'm doing all, this stuff looks fancier than it is. It's all one chord. It's just a nice way to descend to that C sharp 7. And then we're back into the A. And frequently I'll add little jazzy chords in this part, depending on, so this just, again, just for different types of A's, different variations, different permutations of the A. Sort of an A9 here, A7, A13, I think. This will be in the tab, so you can see, and I think I put all of them in there. Doesn't matter, you can even just hang on that A, and then we have to land on this 4 chord. I like it when it's really kind of rhythmic. So you're really, being kind of really emphatic on the right hand. And then you go kind of D, D6, and then you land on that D minor. Sometimes I'll put this, for me it's sort of a 9, it's like a C9, but it harmonically works with the D minor. And those little passing chords. So you can choose what you want to do with this. This D minor, you can play that little D minor up here. You can add that little 9 shape if you want. And then we go down with these little passing chords here. So that's all, we've done that already. This time I do it, don't go, I go, so you're in an alternate, so so essentially you're maintaining the alternate bass point, but you just have to accommodate for your fingering in the left hand as you descend to the F sharp. You're on that G and then F sharp. And that's all the same as before. So to transition to up to the B7, we're gonna F sharp, diminished, so and then we're in this B6 shape, or sort of B9 shape, E, A. So sometimes do a little boogie woogie run. Or even so that what am I doing there? That's kind of doing that run with the bass, and the index and the middle finger, and you're lifting your index on the left hand, you're lifting it up. So that kind of stuff you can chuck in there as well. It should be it will be in the tab. let's do that all very, very slowly on the split screen.